Well, you know what today is, everybody. It is Mental Monday, episode 5. You can't see me. No, I'm just playing. Anyway, that's my wrestling enthusiasm coming out. But anyway, because it's the fifth episode. I don't know. Anyway, don't worry about that. Man, how was everybody's holidays? How was everybody's Thanksgiving besides the Tennessee beatdown that we took by the Vanderbilt Commodores? How was y'all weekend, man? How was Thanksgiving? I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, a great Turkey Day this past week. I know I did. It was I had a great time. Reason why I say that is because, anytime when you're around family, you just gotta love it, especially a family that you love and that you cherish and that you truly care about. Nothing beats that whatsoever. We had an event, my wife's family, they had an event up the way here. And man, there was a lot of food out there, man. Man, had barbecue ribs, had barbecue leg quarters, had turnip greens, yams, collard greens, baked beans with the ground beef in it, chicken pastry. What else we have? Pasta salad, chicken salad, potato salad. I think we had some coleslaw. I don't know. I can't remember, but I think we did devil eggs. What else did we have? Of course, a whole host of pies, sweet potato pie, banana pudding, peach cobbler, and sakatumi cake. I don't know what it was called, but it might have been a sakatumi. I don't know. Hell, lemon cake. Man, all kinds of stuff, man. And just great fellowship with everyone. Man, I'll tell you what, as far as sports is concerned, you know what we got to do. Inhale, exhale. I know it hasn't been a great weekend for some, and I sure as hell know it ain't been a great weekend for others. In regards to my teams, everybody's trash. Let's see, where can I start? Tennessee Volunteers football took an L. The Lady Vols took an L. My Sixers took an L. Commanders took an L. I think the only team that didn't take an L was the Flyers. Yes, I'm a big hockey fan. So, they're doing their thing. But, man, I swear, I think some of my teams, man, I don't know what's going on, man. If I really put it in perspective in regards to my teams, let's look at the Flyers here. Haven't won a Stanley Cup since the 70s. Sixers ain't won a national NBA championship since 83. The Tennessee Volunteers haven't won a national championship since 98. Lady Vols haven't won a national championship since 2008. Who am I missing? Am I missing anybody? Oh, and the Washington Commanders haven't won since 91. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Now, the men's basketball team, hell, they ain't won a national championship ever, let alone get to a Final Four. Now, they've won the SEC title as far as back as 2022. The baseball team, they're the only ones that brought a championship so as of recent years, as far as a national championship. But yeah, man, it's been tough sledding for me this season. I'm already looking towards next season in regards to football. Right now we do have basketball, see how that turns out. But besides that, man, everything's been good. Everything's been great. I did have a little issue yesterday in regards to Walmart. Yeah, some people, man, when you have a job and that job is expected from you from a consumer like myself, I expect you to do your job. I expect you to pay attention to detail, but then you have some people that have a job, they go into work, but they really don't want to do the job, but they just there, So I had a situation where I was getting my tires done. I was getting all four of them put on, or I thought I was getting all four put on. And one of my tires in the back on my driver's side, is missing a lug. Now, it's a 5 lug. I have 4 on there, but I'm missing one. And you can kind of tell that the way that he was circling my vehicle and looking at the tires that I already bought from Walmart that were in my car, it seemed like to me he really didn't want to do the job because he was looking for any reason not to put these tires on, for whatever reason. But then he found a reason not to put one of them on. The lug nut was missing. And he was like, yeah, we can't be able to do this one because, you got one lug nut on there. And I'm like, well, you know, I've had this one lug nut on there for about a month and a half now. And I've been riding pretty good, and I already done hit the road a couple times in my car just this weekend, this past holiday weekend, and I haven't had no issues. And then he was like, well, you know, we may get it in there, you know, and the lug nut may get messed up or something. I'm like, what you mean? I said, he was like, yeah, it might get messed up. And I said, well, it might not. And then he kind of looked at me like, but you know, I'm like, what you saying? You messing up my lug nut or something? Because at the end of the day, if you do, guess what? You're going to have to owe me for that lug nut that you messed up because you couldn't unscrew it correctly, because this is your job. Anyway, that's nor here nor there. So then he was like, well, you know, I'll see if we can find a lug nut. And if we got one, I'll go ahead and put the 4-tire. And I was like, you know, at this point, I was already annoyed, you know, and I knew I was already getting there. And I was like, you know what? He can have that. I said, fine. Thank you very much. So then I go in there and I wait, of course. And then when it was time to get the car out, he was like, man, your car ain't cutting on. I was like, well, I don't know how. I'm like, I drove it here. You drove it in the bay. So I don't know. You're the mechanic. Figure it out, I guess. But then I realized, well, maybe it's my remote, my keyless remote. So I said, well, I need to go ahead and get a battery. And then I was like, well, I said, well, do you know where? He was like, I don't know nothing about that. And at that point, you know how sometimes you have an earpiece in your ear and you get to talking, but you're a little louder than normal. That's when I turned around and I was like, man, you are no fucking help whatsoever. And I just walked off, but I'm walking off and I'm saying it. And then I start thinking to myself, I said, man, I moved to this city in 2014 and you've been here since 2014. And you mean to tell me you don't know where nothing is at in Walmart? You just live in automotive and that's it. You don't go nowhere else. You just come into work, just change oils, put in tires or whatever else you do. And then you walk right back out that door and you don't roam nowhere. But that's okay, nor here nor there. But I could tell that evidently I must have been annoying him, because he sure as hell was annoying the hell out of me. So then I find the battery, come back around the corner, and one of the other guys was like, hey, you the one with the blue Impala? I said, yeah, that's me. He said, oh, you ever need your keys? I said, yeah, let me put the battery in it first, and I'll go ahead and take care of it. He said, all right, cool. So mind you, listen carefully. You had a cashier here, and then you had another mechanic, a female mechanic right here. All right, cool. So then once I put the battery in, I gave the cashier my ticket. She takes it. Of course, she puts in, you know, whatever the information is. I pay for it, right? Cool. Next thing you know, she's giving me my paperwork, but for her to staple the receipt along with the paperwork, she asked the mechanic. The mechanic gives her the stapler. Boom. And then guess what? I'm giving her the keys. And the mechanic, she was like, yeah, we're supposed to get the keys from him so we can go and bag it out. All right, cool. Boom, here you go. So she bags it out. The mechanic takes it for a test run, turns right back around, pulls up beside me, and get a load of this. She get out the car talking about, hey, can I see your paperwork? And I'm like, you were right there when she gave it to me. I gave you the keys. What makes you think this not mine? Yeah, it was a complete clusterfuck. But hold up, there's more. So then, something tells me. I started looking at the charges, started thinking about what I just paid, and I was like, Self, look at the receipt. So what did Self do? Self looked at receipt. And guess what he saw? He saw 3 tires that were put on the vehicle, but you charging me for 4 tires. So you're going to charge me for 4, and you ain't even want to put the 4th one on. So guess what I do? Go right back in there and get my money back. And then she's like, well, you want cash for it? I say, yeah, because I sure as hell don't trust y'all putting it back on my card. And that's the end. So with that being said, hey, don't let nothing annoy you like I did. Don't be Blackout Jones. Sometimes you just have to take things in stride and it will play itself out. And that's my mental Monday for today. But anyway, I hope everyone continues to have a great week. Whatever's bogging you down, don't let it. You know what I'm saying? Take deep breaths, relax, do something that you love, even if it's something just minute. It doesn't matter. As long as whatever you're doing puts a smile on your face and gets you through the day, get you through the week, get you through the months, and get you through the year. Until next time, this is your boy Blackout Jones, And you know what this is, just shooting the sports mental Monday edition. Take care.